kind of a funny story. Okay, so
I was actually mowing for her cousin.
I was house sitting the week or whatever that we saw each other.
I didn't even realize she was there until I got out and started and realized she was there.
So I was like sunbathing up on, she has like this balcony over her yard.
And she was out tanning, and so I pull up to start mowing.
I fell asleep because I remember waking up and being kind of irritated. So I stood up and I'm looking out, what is going on?
She ran inside, and
so I ran inside, but when I went in there, I was kind of peeking out through the window, trying to see who it was. And I texted my cousin right away, and I was like, "Who's out in your yard? You kind of, he's kind of cute."
As soon as I did leave, I started texting her cousin, and I was just like asking questions about her, and came and found out that she was doing the same thing.
I didn't know this either, but then he started texting her and was asking her who I was and who was at her house.
Her cousin actually tried setting us up on a date.
So the first couple things that they had arranged didn't work out. We were kind of both at points in our lives where we weren't looking for a relationship at all.
Another week went by and didn't really think anything of it.
Finally, they put together a cookout, and that ended up being something that sounded like we both wanted to go to.
We just sat by a fire, and just started talking and just kind of broke the ice.
Everything just clicked right away. Like we were, just kind of inseparable from there on out.
I don't think there was a day that went by after that night that I didn't see her.
We like to work out and go outside and do things like go to the parks, and we like to be just anything really active.
Getting ready to propose around Christmas time.
It was for New Year's. I don't remember what day it was on.
I was trying to really figure out a good time to do it, and so I was thinking, New Year's Eve would be pretty cool.
We had this thing planned to where we were going to be at my grandpa's that night, and my aunts and uncles and cousins were going to be there and stuff.
She's really a family person, and I love her family. I wouldn't pick another group of people to be around. I did what I could, and I tried to get most of her family all over to her grandpa's house for New Year's.
I think we both had to work that day, but then I found out later that he had his mom go and get my ring at the jewelry store. Everybody there obviously knew that he was going to propose because he had this all planned out. And
we were waiting around all night. Everyone was getting so tired, and they were kind of getting ready to go home.
I couldn't believe that everybody was staying up that late, and so my grandpa was so funny because he kept looking at his watch, and he was like, "Okay,
right,
I think it's almost midnight." And
so I go ahead and I'm just like, "Here, I got you a New Year's Eve present."
He gives me this envelope, and I'm like, "Oh wow, we get New Year's presents." That's I kind of felt bad because I didn't get him anything.
She's like, "What? I've never heard of a New Year's Eve present."
So I open up the envelope, and it's tickets to the expo show in Iowa City.
They were talking about possibly going to a bridal show just for the fun of it. Me and her mom were talking, and we were like, we should get tickets to that.
And I'm thinking like, what the heck do I need these for? And which kind of went way over my head because,
She's opened it up, and she just happens to be looking the other way, which has actually worked out pretty well.
So I turned to look at him like, why did you give me these? And he was sitting behind me on his knee with my ring.
And then she turns around, and I'm on my knee, and I ask her to marry me.
I guess the only way that I can really explain it is he just makes me feel complete.
The world, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to describe it anymore.
He's my partner in everything.
He's very outgoing, very beautiful, very smart, strong in faith.
If I ever needed anything or if he ever needs anything, you know, we're just there for each other, and I could not imagine life without him.